How's it going, everybody? This is Rusty here at FCP Aero. Today we're going to show you how to replace the cabin air filter in your X3 M40i. So we have here the Myla OE replacement cabin air filter, which we'll be putting in the X3 behind us in today's DIY. The service interval on these is about 2 years or 20,000 miles, but if you have a musty odor coming from the cabin when you have the fan on, or in a most extreme condition, you could even have some dirt and debris coming through the vents with your fan on. Now, keep in mind, our car has about 80,000 miles and we're entirely unsure of the service interval, or the service history rather. So let's see what our filter looks like. It should be on its about 4th filter, but it may have skipped 1 or 2. But before we go into that, let's go ahead and talk about some tools we'll need to do this job. So, not many tools are going to be needed, but definitely going to need your hands and a good flashlight. The cover for the pollen air filter is actually held in with some T20 screws, and you may find it helpful to have a little pick or a pocket screwdriver, although it will not be necessary. You may be able to get the clips undone just with your fingers. And as you can see here, there's not many tools needed. It's a super simple DIY, so follow along and hopefully I'll be able to show you all the steps you'll need to take care of this. So, first tool, just the 10 fingers. There are 2 clips located on the outsides of the trim panel underneath the passenger side. We are just going to do a 90-degree turn counterclockwise on either one of those, and then the panel should remain somewhat loose. You may have to shimmy it and wiggle it down. Once you get that out of the way, there are 2 clips on the top for the harness going to the light. We just need to release those. And then this harness will simply pull out of the lamp. If you have difficulty, you could certainly wedge that pocket screwdriver underneath there to open that up just a little bit, but be careful not to break that connector. Once we get this out, we can turn this 90 degrees and put that outside of the car. And then we're going to take our T20. It's going to be a little bit difficult to show you guys this, but there are 2 screws. I'm trying to get in there without getting my head in the way. One here and one there. So let's put my ratchet on there with the T20. There's a little clip located towards the outside here, almost towards the passenger door. Just going to open that clip, and this should pivot down and out of your way. There's another clip on the back end. I can show you a little bit more when we get that out. Here's the clip on the outside here, and there's a similar clip on the center console side of the cabin filter. As you can see, there's leaves and debris falling out of here as we're dropping this down. We're going to just scoot that cover out of the way. It does have a drain attached to it, so be careful not to release that drain from that cover. And then we can pull our pollen filter out from underneath the dash. And it's not terribly dirty, but it definitely has some pollen, some leaves, and some dust in there. So thankfully we're getting this replaced, and I'm not going to do the smell test, but I'm pretty sure it probably smelled with the fan on. So one thing we want to keep in mind when we're installing the new filter, you can see that there's a little beveled corner here. That corner, if you forget, it is going to go towards the center console. So when you're looking at the filter, that should be on your left-hand side. We also do need to bend the filter slightly in order to get it to fit back into the box. So it may not initially go right into place. You may have to just flex the filter a little bit to kind of get a little bit of an arc in it to get it to go up in there. So there is on here a direction of flow, and as you saw, the backside actually had a lot of the debris, so that's the direction that the air is flowing. So we do still want that corner on your left-hand side, because you're going to be looking at the backside of the filter when you take it out. All the dirt and debris will be on the forward side. So just tipping it into the box. Again, we may have to just curve it just slightly to get that to fit up under there, and then it'll kind of almost click into place. Make sure that's all the way tucked in there, and then click in your pollen filter cover here. There we go. Make sure those clips are engaged, and then we're ready to put our T20 screws back in. Would be a good idea right now to go ahead and turn the key on and make sure that there is no leaves and or debris cycling through the airbox, As you saw, there was a lot that came out. So let's just key on real quick. So just make sure your blower fan doesn't have any leaves and debris stuck in there. Where you have that on high, you could hear some like clicking. If there was a lot of debris in there, it may have fallen down, and you'll definitely hear some whistling coming from the vents if something got stuck in there, but everything here seems all right. Fan's nice and quiet, filter's new, smells good. So let's continue wrapping this lower panel up here. As we had before, did have to tip this in at a 90-degree angle, pushing that connector in first. Make sure that fully clicks into place, and then go ahead and turn. Tuck the trim panel up there. We'll re-engage this harness so it doesn't get caught anywhere. All right. And then on the back here, there is two little eyelets that do have to go into some receiving little feet or pegs, whatever you want to call them. So make sure those do get hooked up into place. And then with one hand, hold up on the bottom of the panel, and the other, turn the little 90-degree little knurled screws there. All right, and that pretty much wraps up today's DIY. We hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If so, get down and hit that like button. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them in the comment section below. We'll have plenty more videos on this vehicle and many more, so don't forget to subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.